Push to talk over cellular radio walkie-talkie things? Are they worth it? And how should these be used? It's funny the things that you think about when you're living on the road, traveling full time, and a lot of it has to do with communication. How do we stay in contact with those, that are home or friends or family? And sometimes a cell phone may not always do. So my thoughts were, it would be great to have some sort of grid down communication device, right? But I'm not sure this is what I thought it was. So as I was thinking about communication, the idea of these radios seemed very, very appealing, and I did a lot of homework. But timing is kind of everything, right? So right about the time I was researching these kinds of radios, the company POCLINK, or POCLINK PoC Link, reached out to me and said, hey, we have these radios. Are you interested in trying them? Let us know what you think and possibly talk about them on a video. And I said, yeah, let's do it up. Let's fire it up and see what we got. So they sent me this, and things aren't easy to get to me because I'm traveling all over, so this had to be like a timing thing. But this is going to be an unboxing video of the POCLINK radios, and I'm going to go over the stuff that I know about these kinds of radios and whether I think it's what I need. So here's a cool thing. Here's a brand new EDC knife. It is the Kershaw Iridium Mini. This is part of my EDC. Actually, I'll have an EDC video coming out pretty soon about just kind of the things I carry. But this thing is wrapped very well. Nothing but, bubble wrap all over the place and tape all over the place. So we're just going to kind of slowly get into this. And hopefully I don't damage anything inside. Okay, so these, as well packaged as they were, they got a little crunchy crunch. Alright, check that out. And then, just bubble wrap. So, PoC radio. PoC means push to talk over cellular. Now, what does that mean? It's basically the same operation as like a walkie-talkie, without being a walkie-talkie. It uses cellular signals, just like a cell phone, but it's not a cell phone. It's kind of a marriage of the two. Now, they did have this kind of technology, back in the 90s. A lot of construction crews used them. It was called Nextel, or it's called the Chirp.
Yeah.
Where they could have direct line of communication using cell signal, and it was basically like a walkie-talkie. So in each box here, in the crumpled box, you get your little user manual, USB-C charging cable, a charging puck, a belt clip, and then a little lanyard. You have the battery, and the actual radio itself. Now, this is way smaller than I thought it was going to be. And there's a little, what is this? It's like a little door. Is it like an extra door? Because it looks like, okay. So it comes with a SIM card. Now, that's what uses the cellular signal. Now, what separates these from just a standard cell phone is cell phones use carriers like Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T. This company and these kinds of companies have an agreement with all of the cell phone companies. So this allows you to communicate with another person who has the same radio over their cellular networks. Now, what's the big advantage? Well, it's closed communication. It's all encrypted, which is nice. And it's instant communication as well. So when you don't want to necessarily be monitoring your cell phone the whole time, these can be an addition of quick access and direct contact with whoever else you need contact with. Now, I have two radios, and my thoughts initially were, hey, I'll keep one at home just in case the grid goes down, and I can, reach out to my mom or my sister to make sure they're okay. The problem is, if all the cellular grids are down, then these are just a paperweight. So I'm going to power these things on. Hopefully there's some power left in here. And I mean, they're fairly light, but they feel sturdy. Got a really heavy antenna. All right, so now we just got to figure out how to turn these things on. Oh yeah, so just hold the orange button and they both pop on. POCLINK, boom. Link on. Initialization detected. And it looks like there's a QR code that I need to scan. And I can't do that right now because both of my cell phones are being used. So we're going to take these out and actually test them to see how they work. And some of the areas we're going to be in have cell phone signal, and some do not have cell phone signal, and we're going to see how these work. But as I was saying, that they weren't what I was expecting, because a grid down scenario, you're in an area where, let's say a big storm comes through, a fire, something like that, and you're cut off from the rest of the world and you can't get out. And your cell phone either goes missing, damaged, or the cellular network is down. In my brain, these radios would be awesome so you can call out provided someone else has these radios. So we're going to test those out and figure out how clear they are, what the distance is, because they say these are clear as a bell around the world, provided you have that cell phone signal, right? The other thing that I do like about it is you can make groups. So you can have a group of, let's say, a work group. So you can contact everyone in a working group. You can contact someone in one of your recreational groups, let's say. Like I'm part of the Midwest crew. We do a lot of adventures in the Midwest, and maybe one of these could be part of the Midwest crew. The downside is you can't configure groups yourself. You actually have to call into POCLINK and they will configure that for you. It doesn't cost anything, but you don't have that control. And the other thing is, like I said, if the grid is actually down, these things will not work. So in my brain, who are these for? I think if you are running a crew, let's say an event crew where you're putting up events and stages and things like that, and you need quick contact with the other event staff, these are awesome for that. Landscape.
Welcome to the intercom.
Whoa! Did you hear that?
Welcome to the intercom.
It says "Welcome to the intercom." That actually scared the crap out of me. So what do I do here? Oh, wow! Check that out. Okay, so it says 8:05. That is not the time. But it looks like my group is Rob Pelton, RP1, and that's the group. So, okay. Test. Whoa. A little bit of feedback because they're right next to each other. So how do these actually work? So it's not a full communication system like a cell phone where you can talk and the next person can interrupt you. You kind of go back and forth. It's one-way communication, meaning you push it, hold, talk, hey, what's up? Over. Whoa, way too close. Let's get these outside and see how they work. Here we are at a trailhead, a very popular trailhead. I'm going to turn both radios on, push the orange button down for 3 seconds, and it'll beep. I don't know if you can hear that. Link on. Now, our cell phones, at least my cell phone, I have Verizon, didn't have signal here. Does AT&T have signal here?
Negative.
So no AT&T as well. I have Verizon, Janelle has AT&T, and there is no signal here. So we're going to see how these are right off the bat. There is a 4G, like a little insignia on there, and I don't see much of a signal strength. So this trail, it goes to, what arch is this?
I don't know.
Oh, it's about a 3-mile hike. So Janelle's going to take one, and I'm going to have the other, and we're going to see if we can have anything. It hasn't chimed in yet, so I don't hear any clicks. Janelle's going to check in about every mile to see if this works, but so far it hasn't recognized any signals. There's no chirping, no announcements that it's connected to anything, which is a little concerning. But I was able to attach the belt clips, and I was also able to put them on a charger, and it's nice because it uses a USB-C, and once you plug it in, there's a red light that shows, and once it's fully charged, that light actually turns green. On the side, you have your communication button, which is surrounded by orange, and then below that you have your volume up, your volume down. You can hear it.
Volume level 3.
Volume level 3.
Volume level 4.
Volume level 4. And then on the other side, you can hook up headphones and a microphone. And I don't know if these have a capability for Bluetooth communication, like AirPods or something like that. But you can certainly plug in a headset here. And then the only two options on here, or the three, is a menu that just basically tells you what your group is. Nothing other than that. And then the middle button here with the circle, that just tells you like who the members are in your group. So it all has to do with your groups. But yeah, so it's very basic. It's not very complicated at all. And we'll just see how this checks in, if at all.
Testing. Rob Pelton. Is there a Rob Pelton? Rob Pelton, can you hear me? I messed it up totally. Because I accidentally turned it off earlier. I swear to God, he told me to press that button. But technically it's that button. This turns it on and off. So, I don't know.
So during the unboxing, I was thinking about the use case scenario for these radios. And this is not a GMRS radio. It's not a ham radio. This doesn't bounce off the ionosphere and use repeaters for distance. This is not that kind of radio because it doesn't use any kind of radio frequencies. The fact that it uses cellular signals is what kind of makes it unique. But you also need cell signal for them to actually work. Right now, dead, nothing. No connection notifications, no nothing. But when you're in an area with cell signal and these actually work, who are these for, in my opinion? I think anyone who is running some sort of crew or some sort of group. I mentioned before an event staff that may be putting together stages and props and maybe carnival rides, a security team that needs to stay in contact with each other, landscaping crews, construction crews, driving fleets, any of these kinds of things that give you instant direct contact without having to use your cell phone and texting. It's just a secure and direct line to the communication. And the fact that it uses cell signals is what allows this to be a nationwide resource or a global resource, again, provided their cell signal. So if this doesn't pop in the next few minutes, and we're in trouble, we cannot use these.
Rob, testing. I'm at the arch. I bet you wish you were here.
And the other thing I want to address is price. A lot of these radio companies, you see ads out there all over for them. They advertise no monthly fees, nothing like that. So when you buy the radio, it comes with a SIM card that's good for a year. You essentially paid for that whole year of service on what you get. But after that, there is an annual charge. Now, POCLINK, it's $50 a year per radio. So if you have, 2 radios, it's $100 a year. Now, that's completely fine. That makes sense to me. But they advertise it as no monthly fees ever. Yeah, of course, it's not a monthly fee. It's an annual fee. A little misleading communication there. I don't know why, because $50 a year is not egregious, especially if you have, a larger company that you need to maintain communication for. It's a very, very minimal expense for something like this. So no need to, try to trick people saying no monthly fees. $50 a year is completely fine. You should advertise it as such. Going on an hour or so, still nothing. So this is a true dead zone for cellular, which means it's a true dead zone for these. So yes, if there's no cell signal at all, if the grid is actually down, these do not work. A little bit of an update. that I'm learning, because I've never claimed to be the brightest bulb on the tree. But as I'm sitting here waiting for this thing to actually make some noise or do something, I decided to look at the user manual. I know, right? Here's what I learned. You can create groups right from the unit. So you have that control, you have that ability. You create a group, you can add people to it, send people that link and the password, and now they can join whatever group you have them in. You also have the ability to disband any groups that are on this radio. So that control is here. The second thing I learned about the radio from the manual is you can pair Bluetooth earphones. And there is a connection guide right there. It tells you how to do that. So yeah, this got a lot of features on this that I'm not sure if other of these kinds of radios do, but this has everything. Your main speaker here, and then your 3 buttons. It's a very basic operation, and provided you have signal, it sounds pretty efficient. All right, fast forward a little bit. We're actually at camp. Whoa. We found a really cool dispersed camping spot here. They're all over out west. But there is cell signal here. Not a lot, a couple bars, nothing crazy. And it's super windy, like crazy windy. But with signal, I gotta see how these things work, even if it's just, a few hundred yards away. So, long hold on the power buttons until they come on. Yep, link on. It's got that barcode that I have no idea what that's for, but if you wait, it goes away. All right, now it's on idle. I don't know if
Welcome to the intercom.
it said welcome to the intercom. I don't know if you can see that 4G, but there's full bars on 4G now. So even with the limited cell phone signal, I have 2 bars on my cell phone. Janelle has 2 bars on hers. Again, mine's Verizon, hers AT&T. But these are showing full bars, both of them. And you got the clicks, right? Test. Test. All right. So let's see out here in this limited test, because I gotta know. All right, Janelle took a walk with the other radio.
Test, Rob.
Helton test.
Test, test. I read you loud and clear.
Whoa.
Sick.
You sound very, very clear. All right, they work really, really well. Now we just have to try this state to state, I guess.
Copy.
All right, so with some cell signal, they work great. Now I want to test the range. Like maybe I'll mail this to, someone back in Minnesota or Wisconsin or something, and just see. I like them. I'm not sure how they fit in my lifestyle. I'll let you know. So all in all, I can see the use case for these kinds of communication devices. We just happen to be in an area where they are not usable. So for backcountry communication or emergency communications, these probably are not the best option. But like I said, if you're working, with some sort of crew in the city with cell signal, these are probably really good for that. But stay tuned to the channel, because we are going to get into some areas where we'll actually use them where there is cell signal. But if you have any questions, comments for me, leave those questions, comments down in the comment area below. I'd love to hear your experiences with these, or if you just found out about these now, what do you think of these kinds of things? But anyway, in the meantime, get outside, enjoy this big, beautiful world, find your own adventure. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one.